Okay. Appreciate that. But yeah.
All right. So the way I have to do it is I'm going to take this interview and put it into a Facebook Live. So I'm going to say we're coming back from break, and then we'll start the interview.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good.
All right. Make sure that all other stuff is off. And I hit record. Ready?
I'm ready.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Cortez Hustle Show. I'm your host, Cortez Hustle, and coming to you live and direct from the Monetize My Life Studios here in St. Louis, Missouri. Listen, if you have a gift, talent, or special ability that you have not yet monetized, but you want to know how, make sure you go to monetizemylifenow.com, grab your free copy of my book. All you do is cover shipping, and I will get it right out to you. Today is an amazing day for me because I get to talk to someone that I admire. I can watch her brand grow from afar, and she is just crushing it and doing all she can in her power to help people understand the power of credit. After today, you will no longer be confused about credit. So it gives me an honor and it's a pleasure to introduce to some of you guys and present to others Miss Latanya, Coach Deloach, the Queen of Credit. How you doing, Latanya? What's going on?
I'm doing fine. I want all your followers and your listeners to know that you are the one who branded me the Queen of Credit. So I thank you so much. I was on one of your live streams and you just called that out, and that helped me step into my purpose, and I just walked into it. So thank you so much. I'm doing well.
No problem, man. And I saw your passion for helping people really understand this topic. Mm-hmm. And I said, man, she's got it. All she got to do is just keep on, and people want to start to get it. So tell us a little bit about who Latanya is. What made you really start focusing on this area of your life, not just finances in general, but credit specifically?
Well, credit specifically really derived from my former ex-marriage, and just a lot of credit things that I did with my ex-husband, and then that extended to friends and family. So upon our divorce 3 years ago, I wanted to have an additional income stream. And I figured working with him was my best lesson. So I decided that I would reach out and help others. And so this was just years and years of background and working with him and a lot of credit issues that he presented during the marriage, and then working with my friends and family.
Gotcha. So I love that. And I'm a big proponent of taking something that you are good at, a gift, talent, or special ability, and turning that into an income stream. And that seems like that's what you did. You were able to pick your ex-husband's credit, some friends and family, and then you said, hey, let's turn this thing into a full-fledged business. Let's talk a little bit about what confuses people about credit, or what people are confused about, because I know one of the things that you do on your platform a lot is you try to help people understand that, credit is more than just let me get a car finance or let me get a credit card. There's a lot you can do with credit. So expound on that a little bit for us.
Right. And I know you're a man of God, so I don't think that you are mind me using this analogy. The number one best-selling book, I think, on prosperity and to give people a better understanding between credit and debt is the Bible. There's over 800 scriptures in the Bible on money and money management. And so I always reference to 2 Kings chapter 4 with the experience with Elijah and the widow woman. And that biblically and clarifies to me that there is a difference between credit and debt. So the three main financial literacy terms I like to get people to understand is it's the difference between credit and debt, assets and liability, and currency and money. Right. And so it starts there. And my purpose in life is to help people learn how to use credit, right, to either get out of bad debt and then create more cash flow in their life.
Gotcha. Right. And how would you define, because I know you said bad debt, so what would be your definition of the difference between credit and debt?
Very simple. Debt is anything that takes money out of your pocket Credit is anything that you use to put money into your pockets. So you can use both of them, and you can retrieve both of them from the banks. Both of them, you can use the bank's money. But one method of using the bank's money, which is debt, will take money out of your pockets. The other method, which is credit, of using the bank's money, will put money into your pocket. So,
yeah, and I think that's something that people really have to understand in terms of the difference between the two, because you can actually use credit to buy assets that will then pay off the debt created with that line of credit. In addition to just, the that people could do, for instance, coronavirus has got people laid off, furloughed. Some of them just lost jobs altogether, and I know they're living off credit cards and their credit is taking a hit because of utilization. So what are some of the things that you can recommend that they do to, start repositioning themselves to recover from what coronavirus is doing to a lot of people's finances?
At this time, first you have to understand that a lot of people listen to a lot of financial advice from maybe a Dave Ramsey or Suze Orman. And even Suze Orman financial advice have changed during these times, right? An additional 2 million Americans have filed for unemployment. We are at the greatest percentage-wise of unemployment of Americans than the Great Depression that happened in 1929, which is the biggest economic to this date up to 2020. And so my advice, the banks, what people don't know, and we talked about FICO 10, we probably get into that a little later on because I know you may have to break, is that the banks will begin to hoard cash at the end of June. At the end of June, beginning in July, they will stop giving credit. Credit will not be as easy access as it has been in the past, right? Because the banks want to protect themselves from what they feel like maybe predatory or just consumers who are not in position to pay back, right? And so credit won't be easily accessible. It will be only for the elite who have themselves in position, but it will be at the most affordable and cheapest price that you can ever get it. And so, in going into this recession, you can either use your credit to get richer, right? Or you're going to be left out of that window of opportunity to use it to get richer or just to better improve your financial situation. And honestly, with all of the jobs and the furloughs and the reduction of pay, I don't see how anyone could financially thrive without having credit as a backup resource during these times.
Gotcha. All right. Well, on the other side of the break, Coach Lowe's talking about repositioning oneself. We'll talk a little bit more about that on the other side of this break. So keep it locked right here.
Thank you.
All right. So I feel like you're holding back on me, Coach. Don't be afraid to go in, man. Give it to the people.
Okay.
And it's okay if you go on a rant if you want to. I'll jump in if I have to. But really, like I said, this is an educational opportunity, but it's an opportunity to draw people into who you are and get them following you and some of the stuff that you got going on.
Okay.
So don't hesitate to go all the way in, step on my toes if you have to. Everything I do is really about the viewers and getting them as much value as possible. So you don't have to take it easy because of me. You don't want to, maybe say something contrary to what I teach. This is not that platform. I want you to go in on who you are, what you believe, and how you can help people understand what's going on with their money and their credit. So let's talk about FICO 10 when we come back.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Cortez Hustle Show. Yet again, I'm sitting here with my special guest, Ms. Tanya Deloach, and we're talking about credit, man, and the difference between credit and debt, good credit versus or good debt versus bad debt. We're talking about assets and liabilities. And before we get into the asset and liability piece, Coach Deloach, you've been talking a lot about this FICO 10 thing coming down the pipe. And I'll be honest, I don't know what it is, and I'm sure a lot of my listeners don't either. So talk to us a little bit about what FICO 10 is and what we need to be bracing ourselves for.
Okay, a lot of people don't know that there are various types or various numbers of credit scores. So for example, if you want to get approved for a mortgage, your FICO score, which is abbreviated for Fair Isaac Corporation, Fair Isaac, he's the founder of the algorithm to give banks and lenders some type of profile of you, makeup of you to determine if you are or are not credit worthiness, right? So if you want a mortgage, for example, if you want to be a home buyer, your FICO 3, 4, or 5 score may be viewed. If you want to get approved for a credit card, your FICO 8 score or 9 score will be pulled or will be determined to analyze if you're, credit worthy. So if you want your true FICO score, it's a website that's myfico.com. You can go to myfico.com. That's the only score that the banks and lenders use. And so a lot of times when people are showing screenshots or social media of Credit Karma scores, those are called Vantage scores. If you want to monitor your credit, if you want to know where you stand with just Equifax and TransUnion, those are good tools for those 2 credit bureaus. But you also know that there are 3 credit bureaus or credit agencies. Many people know that about bureaus, but they are really agencies. Bureau give you the concept that it's federal government, but the credit agencies is just big business. They're just big businesses, and they make money off selling billions. They make billions and billions of dollars really from selling bad credit, right? So it's more lucrative for them to have consumers with bad credit versus good credit, because bad credit sells, right? And so that's the first thing people have to understand. It was a myth out that FICO 9 was never used into play, but that's not true. You have Wells Fargo, you have Navy Federal, you have a lot of big banks and credit unions that use the FICO 9 model to determine if you get approved for maybe a bank credit card in those situations. So what FICO 10 is going to do, Cortez, is going to look at now your 2-year credit history. Previously, as of today's date, the 28th of May, FICO 8 and 9 is most widely used for credit cards or vehicle loans, right? And it can look at a 30-day snapshot of your current credit score. So you have a lot of people, a lot of businesses on social media, mainly the YouTube platform, that sold things like AU trade lines, that they are not selling those anymore. And AU trade lines is just simply authorized user when someone with good credit card paying history and a low credit card balance adds someone that they know or don't know. It could be a family member or non-family member. Usually it's a non-family member with a high price or fee from the hundreds to the thousands of dollars to temporarily add you. And now you are a recipient of their good credit history for maybe 30 days. And then it was this other thing that's called a credit sweep. Many people was falsifying information that they were victims of identity theft. And when the credit agencies would receive this information, immediately they will hide the negative items, because you are claiming that these accounts were not created by me. It was a result of my stolen identity. After an investigation, right, 9 times out of 10, they found out these are your accounts. You are the person that made these transactions, and it is valid. But during that 30-day window, it would temporarily be removed from the consumer's credit report during the investigation. So sometimes that consumer would go out at that point and try to get approved for that vehicle, approved for that that credit card, but the negative items would reappear, right? if the investigation was false. FICO 10 is going to end all of that. FICO 10 is now saying or stating, we are not looking at your 30-day snapshot. We are not even going to look at your 60-day snapshot. We're going to look at your 2-year history. So within the 30 to 60 days, if some items were removed or you was just added as an authorized user to artificially increase your credit score, then they're going to be able to determine that, right? So those two things that FICO 10 is going to do and implement. The third thing that FICO 10 is going to do is going to weigh more heavily on all debts reporting on your credit report. Under the current model, it will only weigh in more heavily if you had high credit card debt. So for example, if you had a $5,000 credit card and it was maxed out at $4,900, that would decrease your credit score because you have a maxed out credit card versus a 6-figure student loan or a $30,000 vehicle loan reporting on your credit score. So you have two different types of debts that's reporting on your credit score. One is revolving debt, which is credit cards, because that money revolves, meaning that when you pay it down or pay it off, you can reuse it. Again, you can pull out. But then you have installment debts that are fixed accounts, and you have a fixed payment, whether it's your rent, your mortgage, your vehicles, your student loans. Now it's going to look at your overall debt ratio, because there are some people that have 6-figure student loans, but they will yet approve them for mortgages. FICO 10 is going to rechange debt. It's going to look how aggressively you are paying down all of your debts and not just your credit card debt, and how much debt do you carry from month to month to month, right?
That's going to hurt a lot of people.
It is.
Because we know people are pushing forward those student loans and they're making the minimum payments on the student loans, in which case the balances are not at all. So you're saying that because they're going to be able to look at that and say, yeah, you a minimum payment person. We ain't gonna keep extending you credit because you plan on dying in debt.
Yeah, right.
That's amazing.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So real quick before we go to another break, I want you to also talk about the correlation or the connection, because I know you are also good at establishing business credit.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the correlation between personal credit and business credit? Is there a reason that we should focus on personal to get business, or should we be doing both? Establishing separate business credit from a person as well as still working on personal credit?
I think you should do both. Honestly, Cortez, in the Black and Brown community, getting approved for either business credit cards, which I feel like is the first stepping stone, and onto business loans is what's keeping us economically suppressed, right? You can have Asians that can come into the United States. They can get approved. They open up their businesses, usually in our communities. You have other races that can get approved for business credit to do business in our communities versus the Black and Brown community. And oftentimes that's a result of us not having our personal credit intact for business credit worthiness and approval.
Gotcha.
Right.
Gotcha. So we're going to dive into that a little bit deeper, because I know you know some things that a person could be doing, an entrepreneur, solopreneur such as myself. There's certain things that you want to be lining up if you are serious about your business, man. I'm like Dr. George C. Frazier. It's time for us to stop doing business and start doing real business. And business credit and business funding can help you expand and grow your business. So keep it locked right here. On the other side, I'm going to talk a little bit more about business credit and using credit to purchase assets. So lock it right here. All right. There we go. Now you're getting warmed up.
I'm getting warmed up now. I need to cash app you anyway for giving me that brand queen of credit.
Nah, it's all good.
Yeah, I know. I appreciate it.
To the guilt, man. And that's what people miss out on, just branding, period. I'm like, man, you keep doing these Facebook Live, man, call it something that people can remember. Right. So they'll come back and start searching for you. how do you want to go with business credit? You want to give them a couple tips that if you're a new business owner, certain things they should be doing to at least lay the foundation to get credit in the future?
Sure, I will.
Okay. All right, so we'll do that. And then anything else you want to touch on? Because this will probably be the last thing.
No, just wrapping it up and really getting people to understand how to use credit to leverage, as versus to create more cash flow versus using credit to just continuous to purchase liability.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll do that. The tips that a business owner can do to kind of lay the foundation so they qualify for credit in the future, and then leveraging credit to buy assets, and then you give some examples of what you've been able to do personally.
Okay.
And tell them how to get in touch with you if they need your services, and that'll be it.
All right. Thank you. Sounds good.
Great. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Cortez Hustle Show. I'm your boy, Cortez Hustle, man, coming to you live and direct from the freefunnelmachine.com studios here in St. Louis, Missouri. Listen, if you are not using sales funnels in your business, you are working too hard. All a sales funnel is a guided process that takes your clients, your prospects, the route that you want them to take and make it easy for them to buy from you. So go set up your free sales funnel at freefunnelmachine.com and get in the game. We are continuing our conversation with Coach Deloach. And before we went to break, we were talking about business credit. You should just be working on your personal credit anyway, but personal credit can also help you in the ascertain of business credit. So talk about some steps, because I know a lot of people are right now opening businesses, starting direct sales network marketing companies. They're selling their products from their kitchen and out of their trunk, and so they got the right mindset that this coronavirus means I need to do something for me. Right. But also, we don't want them to miss this opportunity that don't just start a business, start it the right way so that you can position yourself for business credit and funding down the road so you can expand and scale that business. So what are some things that a brand new entrepreneur can do to ensure that they are in a better position for business credit and funding down the road? Okay, that's a great question. The very first thing they need to understand, oftentimes to begin, you need to start with business credit cards. The business credit cards I recommend do not report or even show on your personal credit report. So I love those because no matter what the balance is, it won't affect your personal credit score, meaning that you can have a high limit business credit card and also keep a high personal credit score because those transactions don't report. They also have to understand that there are some marketing or businesses out there that you can build business credit without your personal credit. That type of business credit or credit cards or tier 1 cards that they are referring to, those are usually cards like if you are a trucker, for example, and you can get a specific gas card for those services. Or maybe for a Home Depot or a Lowe's cards, right? If you're a contractor and you need to do work through Home Depot or Lowe's. But I'm talking about Visa, MasterCard, Amex, Discover business credit cards, right? And so in order to get approved for business credit cards, your personal credit has to be mirrored first. And that's called a PG, a personal guarantee. You have to be a personal guarantor. And when they mirror your personal credit, they will say, okay, this person manages their personal 10,000 credit card well, right? So we feel confident to give them a 10,000, let's say Chase Business Inc. card, which is one of my favorite cards for beginners to begin with for approval. You don't have to be in business for 2 years. You don't have to show your business financials, right? Chase Business Inc. is very new business friendly. And they really mirror, though, they look at your personal credit. And so in this case, having high limit credit cards on your personal credit that you are using responsibly and have a low balance. And I like to have it at a 30% low balance. I like 20 or even lower.
but 30% is a starting mark. So for example, if you have a $10,000 Visa card, personal credit card, you want to keep that balance definitely $3,000 and below, right? I prefer below 30%, but definitely below. And those are some of the things that they look at. Now, the reason why I promote business credit, because we have so many challenges. We have so many people, for example, that cook out of their home and out of their residential, space, and their residential or personal stove. How much more business could you get if you had commercial stove? How much more transaction can you get if you had business credit cards to market your business more, right? Beyond what you're doing, to invest in public relation products, to invest in sales funnels, right? And those are my purposes for business credit, so people can market, so they can get in public relations, so they can get the management they need to expand and grow their business, right? And oftentimes that includes equipment as well, and business credit cards often will come with higher limits, right, than personal credit cards. And again, it does not have to affect you on your personal credit report if you know what cards to apply for and which ones to receive, but they have to mirror that, and your personal credit profile is where they look first.
Gotcha. So a good personal credit can go far beyond you just getting a low interest rate on that next new car that you want. It could be the jumping point for establishing business credit, and that business credit can be used to help you scale your business, or could even be used to help you buy a business. Right now, this is my favorite part, because I've seen you do this, and I've seen you share some of your results and some of the things that you were able to purchase using credit, lines of credit, and things of that nature. Talk about using credit to purchase assets and increase cash flow.
Right, and I'm glad you mentioned that as well. If people just had credit cards to invest in business, whether they want to do their own personal business at this time as an investment, or maybe a home-based business, oftentimes people may be living paycheck to paycheck, and using credit card, whether it's business or personal, to invest in business use is a good decision to make. That's purchasing in assets and not liabilities, right? Liabilities depreciate in value, assets appreciate, and it can have the opportunity to bring more cash flow in your life. I strictly believe that cash flow is king, not necessarily cash, because cash is depreciating or losing its purchasing power every day. And so it's just getting people mindset to use their credit in a different way, right? To use it to invest, to don't be afraid to use their credit card to make your business ventures, to do things that will increase you. And what a lot of people don't know about credit cards is not only are they good for emergency purposes, but they are good cashback rewards, and it's another means of passive income. I just got a check today in the mail for just using my credit card like a debit card from my Citi card for like $124, right? What debit card, what bank would send you a check for using your debit card in that way? And so when I have good cashback reward credit cards, that's a mean of passive income. And so that's a whole different show. But this is the reason why people, you can use credit cards way beyond vacations, way beyond getting yourself into debt, way beyond getting a Louis Vuitton bag, way beyond getting the latest outfit or clothing line. Credit should not be used for those purposes, and it should be used to increase your financial life, right? So, yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, and I have a testimony of a business partner of mine. He used his credit card to get into business with me. We partnered in a home-based business. He used his credit card to get started, and now that business is kicking out a minimum of $600 per month to him. So really, that's what we call infinite return, right? Because he's already got the money back, paid the credit card back, what it cost him to get started in business. he's just continuing to get returns on that investment. And the returns are actually going up. So, Latanya, I thank you so much for coming to hang out with us on Cortez Hustle Show. Tell everybody where they can reach you if they want to connect with you and get some of your coaching services on credit and cash flow. What's the best way for them to get a hold of you?
If they need credit help to improve their personal credit, or they just want to expand their credit, they can go to my website, www.fixmycreditandcash.com. So that's www.fixmycreditandcash.com. You can send me a message there, go directly to my email. You can find out about my products, my services, and all of my consultation and things that I can help you do to learn how to play the credit and cash flow chess game during this recession. We're not playing checkers anymore. It's time out for checkers. It's time to play chess, because this is a whole different economy and different time that we are entering as far as our finances go.
Gotcha. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We come back from break, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to continue to talk about passive income. And I'm going to give you 7 passive income ideas that you can implement today. And guess what? Most of them don't even cost you no money. So keep it locked right there. All right, young lady, that is a wrap. I appreciate you so much. And what I'm going to do is, like I said, I'll edit this. I'll go live on Monday. And what I typically do is the first 15 minutes of the show is I'm showing them some articles and doing some stuff, and then we'll bring the interview in, and the interview will play for the full 20-25 minutes, and then I'll come back on the other side of the show when I talk about passive income or something like that. So live Monday at 7 a.m.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and we stream live to Facebook and YouTube at the same time.
Okay.
And after the live, it takes me about an hour to get the audio together, then it goes up to iTunes and Stitcher and Spotify and all those places, so it'll be downloadable as a podcast as well. And then the show website is the Cortez Hustle Show, and you'll have your own dedicated page. So I'm actually going to go to your website and look at some of the products and services that you have and put some links to that. So under your interview, they'll be able to click on the link to go to your website and, check out your consultations and all of your services. So,
is that the CortezHustleShow.com?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah. Any other questions?
No, I enjoyed it the first interview I've done. So,
all right. Good. Well, glad. So I gave you your name and I gave you your first interview. Now,
you are my Elijah. You my prophet, and I need to sow into your ministry for them, because I truly believe in that. That brand name has made me money 100 times over.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you that. I saw it. I was like,
what's your cash app, Cortez?
It is Cortez Springer. It's Cortez Springer.
Okay, it's a $, right? Cortez Springer.
Yeah,
okay.
Cortez.
I'll make sure I do that today.
I saw it. I was like, man, she's already there.
Right.
She's so name on that thing. People also remember that. And I'm watching what you're doing with your YouTube channel, man.
Yeah, YouTube is just
exploding.
It is. This is our God, but it takes consistent and work too. And he'll bless the work of your hands, but you got to work. You got to work.
I tell people all the time. I say, listen, you're missing your blessing because your blessing shows up in overall and it looks like work.
Right. Wow. That's
remember, there were giants in the promised land. The promised land was theirs, but they still had to go take it. They still had to go do some work, and people missed that. Like, no, man, it ain't always gonna be manna raining from heaven. Even when the manna rained down, they still had to collect it. They still had to. You always got to do some work.
You always got to do work.
Appreciate you so much. If you ever need anything, help with anything, yeah, man, I'm here. I want to see that prayer and go to the highest levels, man, because you're doing great work, and I know people love you, and it's not always reciprocated, but continue to be consistent, and I know that the floodgates are going to open, and really you're going to get a real benefit from everything that you're doing.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you.
All right, cool. You guys have a good one, and I'll talk to you soon. I'll send you the links to all the shows and the lives and all that stuff. Once all that stuff gets prepared, and you can go ahead and start promoting the flyer. And I'll start promoting it tomorrow because I actually got the Friday version
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Sounds good. And thank you again.
All right. You're welcome. Have a good one. All right. Bye.
All right, so that's that. What questions do you all have? I'm sorry. I think I told you I was doing a live interview, so let me make this adjustment. And that's the financial mentor, Mr. Cortez Springer. Any questions while you all have? You can see in my background on my whiteboard that I do have. I think that glare is going. So let me see if it's had any questions. Thank you all for tuning in on that interview. Damon Hill says, I really need your services. I fill out the short application online Saturday. Can you please help? What's your application, Damon Taylor Hill? What's your application? You can pretty much, let me go put it in the link. Go to my website if you want a credit consultation, and you would select the tab credit help. Right. Let me see if I can just share the screen and walk you through this. Thank you so much, Carla. Share screen. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, it's gonna look on my, take my phone out. See if it's looking right on YouTube. All right, yeah, there we go. So this is how the process works. You can see my website. I'm walking you through it. This is the tab, Credit Help. Click there. If you want credit services, you'll go to Book Online. There's no application needed or required. Just know, people, when you select the Buy Now button, it will take you directly to the payment option through Cash App. And it gives you the instructions to include your name and email address. Now, a lot of people pay, right? I can see the Cash App, but they don't email. They don't follow up and email me their credit report. This is twofold. Two things you have to do. And so you pull your credit report from this source, full tri-merge credit report. It's only $1 for 7 days. This is the link for that, right? This link will take you there. But I have a video. If you don't understand or you don't know how to email me your credit report, I have it here, right here on YouTube link. You can, what is saying page not found? Make sure this working appropriately. Let me just copy and paste it. And I've made a video to show you, right, how to email me your credit report. That's it. So if you try to click on that link and it didn't work, just copy and paste it and then put it in your tab browser. Or if you are a person that likes to read versus learning through watching video, you're more, a reader type learner. I also have the written instructions. So this is me. This is the video. It's telling you to log in with the username and password that you created, right? I didn't create that. You created it. And this is, it's step by step. Is less than a 4-minute video on how to email me your credit report. All right, good question, Shan. Let me answer that. So I'm gonna log off, and that's there so people can understand how to use the website and how to get their credit analysis if that's something that they want to do. Less than a 4-minute video. So when I get a lot of emails or a lot of text messages of people telling me or informing me that I can't email you my credit report, people. The video is very self-explanatory on their website, and it's like 4 minutes long, literally 4 minutes long. So it's not a video. Shane says, what do you tell people who feel like they need to see me about getting their credit together because they're trying to hold on to the money during this pandemic? Well, I mean, a credit analysis is a small investment of $75. I can definitely understand people wanting to hold money or hoard their money during this pandemic. But what people have to understand is that, and this is what you don't learn in school, so that we are entering 4 different stages of pricing for everyday goods and services. So let me break it down. The one thing is inflation, right? Inflation simply means your everyday goods, everyday needs, food, gas, all of those. You're already seeing it right now in the grocery stores are increasing or rising. So you have something called inflation, and then you have what's called hyperinflation. And hyperinflation means that the prices have hyperinflated, risen 2-3 times more. You see that right now with meat, right? Costco, I think their hamburger meat for, I think 5-pound hamburger meat has hyperinflated on the price that it was just 2 months ago. And in other areas, other grocery stores as well, right? And so now we're entering hyperinflation. You're seeing inflation in the gas pricing. Gas prices about 10 cents more than what it was 2-3 weeks ago. You're seeing those prices increase as well. And so you want to keep your money with a purpose, meaning that it's now taking $3 or $4, in some cases $5, to do what $1 used to do because prices are increasing. So saving money is good, but you also have to learn how to keep more of the money you make. And if you have bad credit right now, right, and you're paying out high interest, then on your vehicle debt, or maybe a maxed out credit card, or maybe just a high credit card debt, then the very first thing you have to do is keep more of the money you make and either invest in getting your credit restored. So now you can get this affordable debt that's going to be available, right? Very inexpensive. So you won't be locked out of that American dream in order to be able to have access to the bank's money or a credit card for emergencies. If you don't have good credit, you are locking yourself out. And with the instability of jobs right now and people pay being reduced and people hours being reduced, people credit is no longer a luxury. It's a necessity in these times, right? It's no longer a luxury. It's a necessity. Because, for example, if you use credit cards to make groceries, that's combating inflation, hyperinflation, which means raising or increasing prices, at least you can be in a position to get cash back rewards, right? Meaning earning some of your money back. This is a check just received in the mail today from my Citi card, $124 just for using that as a debit card. So now I have some passive income for just using my credit cards like I would a debit card from the bank. So those are some of the advantages of investing in building your credit for these times. Also, people need to understand that if you are a member of a credit union, Navy Fed, Penn Fed, they are very friendly during recessions. They do not operate as banks because they are not banks. They have members, and as a member, I have 2 $25,000 Navy Fed credit cards. I had a $25,000 limit Penn Fed, but they reduced it. They cut the credit limit to $15,000. What could you do with those for emergency times during these times, right? So credit is an investment. It's not a cost. It's only a cost if you have bad credit because it's costing you. and it's costing you an interest rate, right? So you're not able to earn interest or earn cashback rewards. You're giving your money out with bad credit. A lot of people, apartments, they're trying to maybe change apartments during this pandemic. Landlords, their time is up 3 months. They might have to get approved to live somewhere else. Maybe they want to lease or rent a home or a condo, and they have to be credit worthy. Yeah, you have to be credit worthy. Credit also determines how much you pay for your vehicle insurance, or if you're a home buyer, right? Your escrow and your insurance that's on your home, and sometimes on your rent. You have to insure that as well, for your apartments or your condo or whatever you are renting or maybe leasing. So credit is not just to leverage to get more cash flow. Cash flow is king, right? Credit is queen, right? I say that all the time. Cash flow is king right now. Because even if you have your cash stacked with rising prices, inflation, hyperinflation, hello, Mary, your cash will be now disposed at quicker rates now more than ever. So I'm teaching, this is my focus from here on out for 2020, how to play the credit and cash flow chess game. This is not checkers anymore. The game has changed. The situations are different. Income situations, people are losing jobs or jobs just reduced or hours or wages cut. So we have to play chess now. The time for playing checkers is over. And so if you know anything about chess, you know that the queen is the most powerful piece in the game, right? And she's able to move to any squares vertically, horizontally, or diagonally, right? And so it's so many different things, so many different ways that you can use credit. And you don't have to just have one source of income. You don't have to just have an earned income, people. And did you all know that your earned income, for example, your job income is the highest tax income, but that's not the only way to make money. It's the highest tax form of income. So what I do is I also help people get that 6.2%, because just imagine if your hours are cut or your pay is cut, right? You need to find some extra money until you're able to downsize your lifestyle that you were living, right? And so you can do this by adjusting your paycheck and that 6.2% of taxes by adding a home-based business. Now that money comes back to you instead of going to the feds, right? In form of taxes, and you can get from $200 to $600 back out of your paycheck. How much more? But you have to have the home-based business that I'm affiliated with. So let me put that link. So those are just different ways, and this home-based business help you with your credit as well, right? Credit restoration as well. So I hope I answered that question for you. Also, my website, www.fixmycreditandcash.com. It has a tab also that says home-based business. You can learn more about that opportunity if you need to get more money out of your paycheck to withstand. But through this pandemic, you need to know that it's passive income, right? Which means it's cash flow with little or no effort. You have portfolio income, which means it's capital gains. You buy low, sell high. They can be stocks, they can be day trading, they can be investing in money, which is gold and silver. You buy low, sell it high, making those investments, or real estate. Because as I said earlier in the interview, you all have to understand the banks are going to begin hoarding cash. And credit is going to be only available to the elite within the next 5 to 6 weeks. So even if you saw an investment opportunity, people, if your credit is not up to par, you're going to miss out on opportunities now more than ever to get some of these homes that will go into bankruptcy and foreclosures. Because unfortunately, people are 3-4 months behind, and they may not be able to sustain payment to keep their homes. So use the bank's money, use credit to make more money. My friend, my king, Jesus is on. He said, in today's world, people should not be relying on one stream of income. Jesus, you are so right. That is so suicidal, specifically if that income is from a job. Jesus, you are so right. You're so right. And I tell people that their first investment, if they don't have a business idea, because you don't have to have an LLC, an S Corp, or a C Corp, right? You can have a home-based business and you don't have to invest $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, even $5,000, $228, which is also a tax write-off for you. And it's also an opportunity to get more money out of your paycheck, especially if your hours have been cut or reduced or your pay reduced, right? And to make additional income to help people that need more money out of their paychecks and better credit at the same time. So you have royalty income, which comes from intellectual property. I have that. Mr. Cortez Springer, as I was saying, he branded me as the queen of credit. And, I have some trademarks, my intellectual property trademark, something that we do need to learn as well. Some of my trademark is woman, thou art wealthy, right? I teach women in particular how to use the 2 Kings chapter 4 concept from the Bible, how to use your credit to build a business. She did that with her sons because they were in bad debt and they flipped the script and they used credit. My other trademark is never deal with a broken heart or a broken handbag, both at the same time. That's just my philosophy for women. So you have royalty income, then you have residual income. It may be passive, but it's not always residual, right? So other forms of passive income, if you heard the financial mentor, Mr. Cortez Springer, mention about the YouTube channel, YouTube will pay you passive income. And it pays me passive income for my channel just to come and talk to you all, whether you sign up for any business services I have after this or not. But because I'm sharing financial information that YouTube likes for me to share, I get compensated every month on the 21st of every month from YouTube. Other ways I mentioned earlier, cash back on credit cards. Got a check in the mail today from Citi Card. Cashback rewards, I didn't even know I had $124 just for using my credit cards versus like I would a debit card. Ebooks, stocks, dividends, etc. All right. Proud to be me said, could you answer my question before you end the live? What exactly is a credit sweep? Proud to be asked. And do you use that in your approach? No, I do not use credit sweep in my approach. A credit sweep is simply, and it's going to no longer be effective when FICO 10 comes into play. And just know that FICO 10 is going to have three different phases. The first phase will come at the end of June, beginning of July of this summer. FICO 10 is just a new scoring model algorithm, right, that banks and lenders will use to determine if you are or are not credit worthy. It's going to look at your 2-year credit history. Currently, proud to be me, your 30-day and sometimes 60-day credit snapshot is looked at. And that's under FICO 8 if you want vehicle loans or credit cards for some banks, or FICO 9 if you want credit cards for some banks, right? I think the mortgage FICO 3, 4, and 5 will remain the same. But what FICO 10 will do now is that a credit sweep, in most cases, a person would claim to be a victim of identity theft, and a credit sweep would state that this charge off or this collection or this repossession or this eviction on my credit report is a result of someone stealing my identity, right? Oftentimes that was abused. Now you have some people that are true victims of identity theft, and they can still use this method. This was also called a credit sweep, right? But they're going to the banks are cracking down on people getting away with claiming credit sweep or victim of identity thefts to temporarily remove or sweep away those negative accounts reporting. Because what will happen is once you notify the credit agencies that you are a victim of identity theft and someone has stolen your identity, when they receive that notice, within 5 days of receiving that notice via mail or in the mail, they have to, by law, remove the negative accounts that you are stating were a victim or a result of your identity being stolen. Then after 30 days of research and investigation, some of the cases that were being abused or lied, which also can lend you to federal prison or finement, right, for lying about being a victim of identity theft. Once the investigation was conducted, if you were truly a victim, the items will remain deleted from your credit report, right? But if you were not a victim, they would reinsert and restate those let me see this question, those accounts connected. So then you'll have a trying to make chess move who got you. So then you'll have people that within that 30 days, they will go out and get approved for maybe a car. They will pull their credit report, no negative reporting. And then after they got approval for maybe a car or something of that nature, it may reappear next month if they were truly not a victim. So this FICO 10 is ending all of that, because it's not going to look at 30 days anymore, snapshot. It's not going to look at 60 days. It's going to look 2 years deep. And so that's what credit sweep is in short. And it's putting an end to anybody on YouTube that used to highly promote credit sweeps, or we get deletions in 30 days. You don't see those advertising anymore, right, for that, those purposes. Any business that used to promote, we're selling AU trade lines, meaning that you can get added to someone else personal credit card information for maybe a 30-day time frame. They are not offering those services anymore, because those are things that would increase your credit score as well. But people would pay hundreds of thousands of dollars just to get added to a stranger's credit card to temporarily increase their credit score. And then after the 30-day ends, because they're not going to keep you on their credit history for the life of that they have the card, they're only going to sell it to you for maybe 30 days or 60 days at the most. And after that is ended, you're right back at step one, right? And so you're positioning yourself to get right back in bad credit, because you was never credit worthiness to get approval initially in the first place. So that's it. Thank you all for tuning in for the interview today. That was also the financial mentor. He is on Facebook and he is on YouTube. And I think those are all the questions. Let me know if you all like my shirt, my t-shirt that I'm saying I'm God rich. Let me know if you all like that. And that's it. So I don't know if I go live tonight again. I may have to, depends on the upcoming news. Is always up-to-date news concerning what's going on in this economy. But people just know the banks will begin hoarding or keeping money, which means that credit won't be easily accessible when FICO 10 comes into place. So get your credit fixed now. Get your credit fixed now. Get a part of a good local or national credit union, because you may not have access to the banks as far as getting credit for loan, right? They're crunching down. They don't want risky borrowers. They don't want to be in position to give their credit or extend credit or their money to people that are risky borrowers. So that's why FICO 10 is coming into place. Jesus, thank you so much. He said he likes my shirt. Thank you all for tuning in. Queen of Credit out. This is to your peace and prosperity, your credit and your cash flow, and most of all, your health and your wealth. People, build your immune system, exercise, get sunlight, get vitamin D, get vitamin C as well. That helps and aid in your immune system. Vitamin D helps the most, and you can get that directly from nature. God has provided that by getting out, doing some recreational activities, get in your yard, wash the car, wash your vehicle, do something, garden, do something, sit under your patio maybe, right? The website, thank you so much, Mary, for the home-based business. You can also Go to fixmycreditandcash.com. Let me see, my internet is slow. Let me show you all that real quick. Oh, no problem. Proud to be. This is why I'm here. And I tell people just tune into, that's okay. Lee is in the home-based business. Tune into my live stream because people, I get so many texts and emails a day, and I can really answer your question. That's why I take time to go live to answer your questions that I probably wouldn't be as quick as answering via text or email. So this is how you get the instant pay raise. Go to my website, enter your name, get access there. So this will take you to watching the video, getting a little bit more information. But let me go directly to the website. So you all can get a little bit better idea of what the home-based business does. Let me try. I think my internet is a little slow, so it may not let me be great, but I'll go over this as well. My internet speed is slowing up, so I'll just do a specific home-based business video, and I'm going to break down all of your tax deductions and how to get more money out of your paycheck, how to get more tax deductions. I'm going to have a specific video for that, but that's the link if you want to know. And you can also go to my website. Hello, Lee, aka Les Brown. No problem. You can always go back and watch the replay. And you all have a great evening.